All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. So, welcome everybody to Shovel Knight. This is a game that I'm just gonna turn that down just a touch right now. That way it's not as overly oppressing on my voice. But yeah. I asked my subscribers in my Discord what game they wanted to see me to play today, and I gave them a couple choices between this, Ori and the Blind Forest, and XCOM, and majority of the votes went to Shovel Knight, so I guess we're playing Shovel Knight. I haven't played this game in a while, so I played the PC version as Shovel Knight, and I started up a thing as Plague Knight. But I never really finished anything there. We're just gonna start with a Shovel Knight adventure, cause why not? Our name is gonna be Jeff. Jeffrey. There, that's our name is now Jeffrey, cause I don't know, honestly. I just decided. Yes. We're gonna body swap. Opposite. Alright. Yep. So there we go. And yeah, we'll just get started playing as Jeffrey. My name's Jeff. Long ago, the lands were untamed and roamed by legendary adventurers. See, this is the nice part of using this microphone. I can do cool things. Of all heroes, none shone brighter than Shovel Knight and Shield Knight. Kind of get that earthy tone. But their travels together ended at the Tower of Fate, when a cursed amulet wrought a terrible magic. When Shovel Knight awoke, the tower was sealed and Shield Knight was gone. Her spirit broken, a grieving Shovel Knight went into a life of solitude. But without champions, the land was seized by a vile power, the Enchanter and his Order of No Quarter. They ain't got no quarters, man. They can't play at the arcade. Now the tower is unsealed and devastation looms. A new adventure is about to begin. So, for those of you who are tuning in and don't know what this game is, hi, welcome to Shovel Knight. This is a... how to describe it? It's a 2D pixel art style... Oh, also, I need to go to my controls. And a controller. And a single, because oh, okay, I can just, I can press triangle for my sub-weapon. It doesn't, make me press down and that. Okay, cool. Cool. Because normally, in the normal game, you have to press, up an attack to get your, oh god. I'm so used to, now with all the games I've played recently, I'm so used to jumping with circle that not jumping with circle is just completely throwing me off. It's oh no, I'm going back to the regular style where I jump with the X button and oh no, why X? Why use the X button? But yeah, so if you haven't seen this game before, hi, welcome to 2015, whenever this game came out. It's a 2D side scroller. I'd say the things it relates the most to are the DuckTales video game. You got hints of Mega Man and sort of kind of Mario-ish, kind of just a nice mix of all these 2D games. But it's just, I'd say Mega Man is the closest comparison of all, because it's very the whole point is you go from screen to screen and you clear each screen, and then you get to a boss, you fight the boss, and then you kill the boss, and then you move on with your life. This wall doesn't break. And I honestly thought I missed that jump, which would have made me one sad panda. But yeah, you just kind of go along and you gather treasure and use that treasure to buy upgrades and whatnot. And your other most prominent feature is that you can pogo with your with your shovel. If you press down on your directional input of choice, which since I am using my PlayStation 4 controller, my tool of choice for movement is actually the PS4 D-pad, because I really like the PS4 D-pad. I don't like the wired 360 D-pad I have. It's very loose and like not accurate to inputs, and I don't much care for that. But yeah. So we're kind of just gonna run through, kill some enemies, collect some things, find some secret tunnels. Secret tunnel under the mountain. I mean, we are kind of under the mountain right now, but not that much. And yeah, we're just gonna keep progressing on. So I know a good amount of this game, but at the same time, execution is probably more of a factor in how well your experience goes in Shovel Knight than previous knowledge. Like, previous knowledge will help for like boss fights and whatnot, just for knowing patterns, but it's not the most helpful thing in the world. Okay, so I kind of want to, yeah, there we go. And I kind of like the whole point of that is I didn't want to destroy as much of this. Oh, because I didn't want to ruin my opportunity to go up and to the left and get the my English is escaping me right now. But I didn't want to go up to the left, or I didn't want to miss my opportunity to go up and left and get that gem, and I didn't want to miss my opportunity to go up and to the right and get the other hidden gem. But luckily in this game, it's very easy to tell when you're gonna run into like hidden rooms and whatnot, because like if you look at this wall right here, this is a very obvious like part of the wall. Like, not only is this like clearly sectioned off like this, but even if it's a flat wall, if you see like a little like misplaced tile with like a little like hole in it, you just kind of hit that and it'll break the wall like almost pretty much every time. And I honestly think that this first level in Shovel Knight is probably one of the best opening levels in most video games, if not all video games, just because even without going through the extra rooms, the game does a very, very good job of cleanly and concisely teaching you all the mechanics of the game that you're going to need to know within this like short couple minute level. Between the pogo bouncing and how secret walls, like where secret walls appear, like this one. Like, you kind of just, you get a gist for everything you need to know in this game, like right away. Now this one is a secret. That one is only, that one's like, there are very few instances in this game where it doesn't actually show you a crack in the wall, but it's definitely a hidden wall. But yeah, I'm just gonna lower my mic a little bit because I kind of want you beautiful people to see my mouth and my face a little bit more. I gotta ask, how do you guys feel about this this mic setup? If you like it, I'll keep it, and I'll continue doing this moving forward, but okay, I'm just gonna... I was considering going YOLO on him and actually chasing the dragon down for the extra 10 gold, but, you know, not exactly necessary. Sounds good? Alright, good. Well, I know the microphone sounds good, just because I know this is like... This is an above average quality microphone. This is actually the microphone I've been using when I've been doing my recordings. Oh, I didn't get the cheeky little skip. That's unfortunate. No, I didn't. Wanted to go through this first level without getting hit, because I believe there's an achievement for getting through a level without getting hit. It's not like I could show that off. Oh. All right, I deserve that one. I'm gonna hold the L. But yeah, this is my more like professional quality mic that I've been using for my my voiceover auditions and whatnot. Which, speaking of, a deadline for the one I'm doing next is coming up in a couple days. Actually, I know a couple of the people who watch this stream are the people who actually introduced me to this group. 7 exact. But there is this like internet idol group called Interlunium, and they're doing auditions for. Basically, they're coming up with their own new like male rival group because the group is consistent of female characters. And so and the auditions are open, so I was like, all right, well, why not? Like, worst case scenario, I just don't get in. Best case scenario, I get a voice acting gig. Like, and luckily I don't like, they opened it up so you can do both. You could just audition for the voice, or you could audition to do the voice and sing. Where, like, I'll try it, but I don't have the best singing voice in the world, so I'm not expecting to, obviously, I'm not expecting to get, I'm not expecting to get the singing part of it, considering this is, like, a very, like, high quality, like, singing group filled with a very talented group of people working on this project, so. But at the very least, I mean, if I don't get in, I had fun making my auditions, and I had fun trying to, kind of build. Sorry, I had something stuck in my teeth. Like building the idea and like the structure of like the character and how I think he should sound based on the way I sound. But yeah, I thought it was. I always enjoy doing stuff like that. If you've ever watched the stream, you know I love voice acting. For example, I knew you'd show your face sooner or later. The cerulean cow. Oh wait, no, we're doing body swap version. So, I guess I got to give them feminine voices. So, turn back, Shovel Knight. There's nothing here for you anymore. Stand aside, Black Knight. No, I'm not. That's going to be the voice I got to do the most, so I can't. I got to make that one that's going to be, like, really easy on me. Stand aside. I think that was the same voice I just gave. Stand aside, Black Knight. I'll just sound like a 5-year-old trying to voice act a girl. I've no quarrel with you. I must return to the Tower of Fate. Your time away has dulled your senses, can't you see? This entire valley has been conquered by the Enchanter, and his invincible knights of the Order of No Quarter stand between you and the tower. But none of that matters, because anyone after the Enchanter has to go through me. Steal thy shovel. I love the little like laugh they give Black Knight. Alright, you gonna Alright. You wanna Yeah, go ahead and laugh all you want. Yeah. You messed up, Leffen. You messed up, Leffen. No. You're not allowed to shoot beams. Hey, caught him mid-jump. Or call her mid-jump, sorry. Playing the gender bent mode always like, because it's always like very subtle changes to like their armor sets and whatnot, so it never feels like it's like a huge difference. So it's very, very common to get that confused. But now we go to sleep. And this kind of shows off one of the mechanics of this early portion of the game. Or, well, I'd say the like in-betweens, where you have to catch Shield Knight as he falls from the sky. And this first one's really easy. It's just he'll fall at a random spot, and you need to catch him before he hits the ground. I've never missed him, so I don't know if there's anything for missing catching Shield Knight, but I mean, not gonna learn that now. But in later versions of that, encounter, like enemies will start showing up, so you can get extra money out of it and extra like magic refill in case you need it. But ferals, halt! No weapons. We have enough to worry about lately without everyone swinging swords around. Oh, haha, that's no weapon, just a shovel. You may enter then. And don't forget, press up on the D-pad to talk to everyone. And normally I would love to talk to everyone normally, but I really just don't care. But we're going to talk to this bard. Hail, traveler. I am but a simple bard, and I have a big problem. I've lost all my music sheets. My entire repertoire lays scattered across the land. If you ever find a music sheet, return it to me, and I shall reward you handsomely. Wow! You have 2 music sheets. Magnificent! Take 500 gold for each. Yeah, so you get the first 2 in there. The rival. But you find if you get the music sheets, you give them to this guy, you get money for it, and the money comes in over here. So normally, part of me would want to upgrade my health or my magic over here, but I don't have magic yet. So I'm going to talk to the Godetician, and I'm just going to buy... Can I afford 2 meal tickets? Yes, but I'm going to see if there's anything else I want to buy first. So basically, you give the you give meal tickets to the gastronomer or whatever over here, and he makes you food that starts off disgusting, but increasingly gets much more delicious. And every time you eat from him, you gain health, or you gain maximum health. This guy just tells really bad puns, so you can just talk to him over and over again for that. So we can buy the chalices. I'm going to buy 1 chalice. And then we'll go to that pawn before we go to the next fight. And then Chester gives away these like special items that you can buy. I'm going to buy the fishing rod because that's like the only one I really care about out of those 2. And now that we have 2,200, I'm actually going to go do a secret thing. But to note, all these people here are, like a couple of these people are complaining about different Knights of the Order of No Quarter. So you kind of just, like, every time you beat someone up. So, like, this guy's got a problem with King Knight Queen Knight, because Queen Knight took his throne. This one hates Spectre Knight for some reason. And this is just an old hag who happens to know, like, all your in-game stats, like how many times you died, how much gold you've collected overall, and all that. And this is Mona. And Mona, you give her 100 gold, and you just play this little mini game where the whole purpose is hitting these magic potions into these like point blocks that are flying around, and the more you score, the more money you get at the end. Oh no. Yeah, this minigame gets pretty hectic at times. And your goal is to hit the upper sections as much as possible. Like, you basically want to be hitting those rotating blocks with almost all the potions, just because they give the most points. And the flashing ones, obviously, as you've noticed, split into like 5 different potions. I think I did okay on that one. You got 250 points. Yawn, well, color me impressed. So that was worth 450 gold, and I got a music sheet. So I can then get another 500 gold off of that. But I don't have anything else I want to buy. I don't need a second Tropple Chalice right now. Also, this little girl right here, if you bounce on her ring 5 times in a row, you get an achievement for that. No, not the Hoop Kid. So this guy, I love this guy. 4 months of cash streamy goodness. Here's to many more. Thank you, Bastion, for that 4th month of subscribing. That's so beautiful to see. The other thing I'm working on is my moderator and I right now are working on subscriber badges. So when you've subscribed for longer periods of time, you'll get a new... we're going to work on making those. But you'll get a new little icon next to your name instead of the star. So it'll be like a different signifier of how long you've been subscribed to the channel. So you can, you know, in chat, you're kind of showing off like, hey, I've been subscribed for 6 months, so now I have this badge, or I've been subscribed for 3 months, so I have this badge, so on and so forth. But yeah, thank you, Bastion, for that subscription. But here we have this hedge farmer that I love. He's like, are you really the Shovel Knight? Prove it by digging up this dirt. And you just dig up the dirt, and then you just turn around, he's so happy. He's just like, wow, incredible, you really are Shovel Knight. Like, you know, like we couldn't just do that if we were just any guy with a shovel. Oh, and also there's a hidden music sheet up here, no big deal. And the Grizzled Seer, who just kind of is like, oh, by the way, you got this. So we have 2 bosses we can fight right now. There's a third, and obviously we can't go any farther. But I'm gonna go to the Troupple Pound because here's our Troupple King, the main man himself, and I'm gonna talk to him. Who has a wicked be mortal? Dost thou need aid? Aid me. I sense a Troupple chalice. I can fill it with magical ichor. That's pronounced ichor. I appreciate the fact that they clarify which pronunciation of ichor they use, which they use ichor. Choose your ichor wisely. And for me, especially in this early game, I am just going to grab the invincible one because it allows me to kind of just stand on top of bosses for a little while and just not have to worry about getting hit. Whereas the healing one is nice. I think the healing one is nice later on when you've got much more max health. But yeah, so I have to sit through this. I can't leave during this. But he's just going to do like a nice little, cute little dance. So in the meantime, I can talk to y'all. So how you guys doing today? Having a good time? Yes, this dance is a very beautiful dance. Ooh. Sorry, I opened my Instagram and immediately saw booty. So like, you know, gotta double tap that. Yeah. But yeah, I love how like expertly coordinated this is with the music and everything. It's such a nice little scene. But yeah, in the meantime, I guess we'll do the reminder early, but this is your Kaz stream reminder. Please drink some water today. Ah, delicious. Fare thee well, Shovelled Knight. Return if thou hast need of my aid again. Also, if you fall in here, he gets mad. He gets upset. He's like, "Why would you do this? Like, don't fall in my pond." So I guess I'll do this in the normal order. So, technically speaking, you don't have to go here first, but this is the easier of the two. So, just kind of to ease myself back into playing this game again, I'm just gonna do this. Also, let me know if you guys enjoy this, because there are 2 other ow. Wow, I majorly messed that up. But there are 2 other campaigns as free DLC for this game, or at least it was free DLC because I bought it like when the game first came out. But there's 2 free DLC campaigns where you play. The first one is kind of like a prequel, and you play as Plague Knight, and you kind of go through the same levels as you do a Shovel Knight, but you no longer have your shovel. You now fight and kill things exclusively with bombs. So it kind of changes up the dynamic of how you have to encounter certain things. Like the bubbles no longer matter because you can't pogo off of bubbles if you don't have a shovel. You only have bombs. But it opens up the area and a lot, and you get access to new hidden rooms and new abilities. So all around, it's definitely like worth your money as far as DLC is concerned, especially like in now like today's day and age of gaming climate controlled by like EA and things like that. I'm just gonna. Also, you can duck, but only slightly. You just kind of, yeah. It's just, I just find it so funny because like it shouldn't matter. Like, it shouldn't change anything, but like there are actually some times where if you do that little that you kind of you miss just by like that pixel that you drop down. It's really funny. But yeah, King Knight's stage gimmick is that there's not really a gimmick per se. It's just kind of another nice, like, fleshed out stage. Also, these guys are... Ow, I messed up. But the way you cheese these guys is you just pogo, land right in front of them, and then swipe. And I believe I messed up because... Well, it's either here or later, but there's like one of these that you could pogo off that guy and then... Yeah. Like, for example, like that. Where you, like, pogo off the head of one and jump up to, like, a secret area. But luckily, the checkpoint system in this game is pretty lenient. In the early stages, it gets a little bit more... like, strict as you play, essentially. Like, the later stages definitely have a little bit, like... It makes more sense in the later stages how the checkpoints are laid out, but in this, like... In the early stages, it makes sense given, you know, the game dev has to assume you're walking in with absolutely no experience whatsoever. So the way they lay out the early checkpoints is really, really smart, at least in my opinion. So these blue chest rooms that you find in these stages, you find Chester once again. And Chester always sells... the special items at a discount in the stage that you find Chester in. So, and all these items cost magic except for a thing. I can't believe I missed that. But luckily, the checkpoint is right here. Also, if I wanted to, I could just like ignore it and go back because of the fact that I have the item, so I don't need to go back, but I'm gonna go back because of the fact that I want my, you know, couple 100 gold that I left behind. But yeah, Chester, you find Chester once per stage. And every time you find Chester, he has a special item that's usually tuned to the rest of the stage. So it makes your life in the rest of the stage a little bit easier. And you get that item at a discount in comparison to when you would normally get it. Because he charges, I think, like 2.5 times the price at the town. So it's a lot smarter to just, you know, go out of your way to find him in the stage and just kind of pick that item up for the discount. And I'm not going to mess with that right now. But it is I believe it is possible to hit those balls back at the wizards. But why would I risk that when I have all the time in the world and a good amount of patience to just sit there and kind of hit them out of it instead? So this one, I want to climb up here. So this is going to be my first example of that. Meh. So you don't, like, reflect it back because you're shoveling it, of course. So it just goes up at an angle. Ow. And unfortunately, I was a little late with that timing. I wanted to be a touch earlier. Because obviously being a touch earlier on that swing would have gotten me... would have either killed him before the ball came out, or if I was a touch later, I would have hit the ball and him. So I'm going to backtrack, and I'm going to go back down to this room because I did miss a couple, like, statues and whatnot that I could destroy for monetary gain. And obviously, as you've seen, money is very, 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 very important in this game. Just because you get upgrades with it, you get your new items with it. Like, there's never a point where you're not going to be collecting gems in this game. So my suggestion is just to always, ow. Okay, so I'm gonna stand there. We get a little closer. Yeah. So it had these griffins have 2 attacks, and luckily the early stage griffins just give you chicken. honestly, 100%ing this game isn't that hard. Just because, like, the only real challenges are, like, the special, like, challenge log challenges. So it's like, you get, like, an item where you're like, oh, you need to kill a certain number of enemies all on the screen, all at the same time. So you get an item that lets you do that, and you just come here and you kill all the rats. Or you have a challenge that's like, get through a stage without collecting a single piece of treasure. That one's the hard one, honestly. Not because not because it's hard to resist collecting treasure, even though it is in this game, just because, collecting treasure is, half the point of the game. But the real reason it's difficult, at least for me, is there are not that many stages where you can effectively do that challenge. Also, I don't know why I'm doing that when I could just do this. But there's not a lot of stages where you can effectively do that challenge without, and even in the stages where you can do it, the tricks you need to do it borderline on like speedrun style tricks and gimmicks that you need to do. Ow. I've taken a lot more damage in the stage than I wanted to, but it's fine because I'll probably just get another piece of chicken before the final boss anyway. And the final boss of this stage is Queen Knight, and she's a pretty easy boss overall. All right, that's gonna be a nice 5 pogo. But yeah, she's a pretty. I'd say she's probably the easiest fight in the game. That's not the first Black Knight fight. Just because, like, obviously that fight is the easiest. It's the intro fight. All right, and I think I messed that up because I think I needed a pogo on them to get over there, but it's fine. So we're just gonna drop down and continue on with our merry lives. Okay, you could like. Can you don't? All right, if you could. Ow. If you could just. Not. I'm just gonna pin you in the corner until you die. So that's my strategy at least. Clearly the winning strategy because I'm alive and you're not. Therefore, I am the victor. Because that's how strategies work, right? Like obviously because I won, it was the best strategy. Not just because like I got lucky or they weren't paying attention or anything. No, like if you win, you're obviously using the winning strategy. That's also 110% sarcasm, so please do not take that seriously. That is not, like, life advice from Kaz. Like, just because you're succeeding slightly better than some people doesn't mean you're doing, like, the best you can for it. Although that you could take as a piece of life advice. I think that's more applicable to people nowadays. All right. So normally I would go through there, but I actually want this because I think it's a goldfish. And if it's not a goldfish, it might be a... Oh. That was weird. Oh, I guess I gotta remember to hit the button. Yep. Wait, stay thy fork, knight. I bring gifts from the Troupple King, but you can't carry any more. Yeah, so a couple of these stages have the Troupple fish, the trout apple fish, that you basically like use them as an excuse to get a free Ecor refill in the stage. But the only issue is those Ecors or Icor, I should say. Like the game tells you how to say it. Why am I saying it wrong still? The problem with those Icors is they are set, so you don't get to choose what Icor you're getting. You are just getting like, okay, I'm just getting the Icor that gives me gold attraction for 60 seconds. I'm not getting... Also, I'm just gonna... The other annoying thing is sometimes... Actually... Ow. Yeah, I kind of... The only reason I'm doing this is I want the gold. Like, as you saw, I could have very easily skipped at that point. But that hit should be it, and then he should give me a turkey. Luckily, the chicken produces a large turkey for you to eat, because that's obviously what it is. So yeah, if you couldn't tell by the way this room is laid out, we are at our first boss, Queen Knight. An interloper is in our midst. Begone from our throne room, knave. I'm no more of an intruder than you. They basically sound this. I'm gonna give them the exact same voice and just like kind of. I'm no more an adventurer than you. You aren't even a real queen. Oh, but you're mistaken. The enchanter saw me for my fabulously regal self, and now all bow before me. You're not naught but a decadent dandy. Prepare to taste justice. Shovel justice. Silence. Alright, so this is Queen Knight. Her main thing is she likes to jump around a lot. And she likes to call confetti from the sky. Yeah. Like that's basically it. And she does that annoying little dash. But yeah, she's already dead and I got her before the confetti, which is actually a pretty good I'd say that's a pretty good boss fight. Also I got the achievement Untouched, which apparently I haven't done in this game yet. So that's good. But I believe Untouched is literally just fight a boss without taking damage. Which Queen Knight is the easiest one to kill without taking damage. But yeah, now we're just going to sleep through the night. Unfortunately, we don't get to dig up this... or do we? Yeah, we get to dig this up. But if you don't press any of your face buttons and you just kind of wiggle your stick, wiggle your like directions, you kind of just shake. You're just like... and you just wake up from your bad dream at that point. And then you move on with your life because that's what all, normal adults do. So yeah, we got through the first area. Oh, also, when this guy shows up, you just get like a little like mini stage you can go through for extra gold. And obviously I'm going to do it because extra gold is always necessary in this game. And now you get to see what the dragons actually do for attacks when they're aggressive and not just like the passive little dragons that we saw. If you could... Ow. Okay, if you could... Can you don't? Thank you. Beautiful. But yeah. I basically do these whenever I find them because extra money is always necessary in this game, as I've explained. And that just brought us up a couple, like, 1,000 gold. And we're already on top of the town, so we can just jump right in. And we can give our bard friend. Also, even if you forget that you have music sheets, the bard will be dancing when you enter town, so that way you know that you need music sheets, or that you have music sheets to give. Blah blah blah. You found the Decadent Dandy. Also, the music for Queen Knight's boss fight is actually called Decadent Dandy. All right, so I'm gonna buy this meal ticket, and I don't think I can afford the next one. Yeah, the next one is 6K. So I'm just going to let the gastrometer try and actually impress me with his cooking this time. Last time it was like purple and slimy. This time it's a pig. Just a roast pig. But yeah, I'm going to buy one upgrade to my magic right now just because I don't have a lot of use for it because all I have is the fire wand. I don't much care for the fire wand. And then if you miss any of the items in a room, or not a room, if you miss a item in any of the stages, you could just buy the item from Chester for a increased price, like I mentioned before. But yeah, this guy is just like, oh, you beat Queen Knight, hooray! I can go back. And I can't wait to see my large birds, Plume and Beaky. And you're just kind of sitting there like, you're not seeing them again. Alright, well. We already got that achievement, so I don't have to worry about it. So now we're going to go down to the spooky scary Land of the Spectre Knight in the Graveyard. The totally not male Spectre Knight. And this stage has the gimmick of both frogs that have electrical powers, which that one decided to be nice to me and not hit me with electricity, which is, ow. Can you not? Can you just not? That'd be great. But yeah, the other gimmick, of course, being since this is a spooky, scary graveyard, there's ghosts and these little bushes that you can smack, and then if you smack them, they come out of the ground. And then all these trays have bombs on them, and that's because it wants you to, like, look around. It kind of gives you an idea of where you need to move forward. But I'm just going to kind of dance around them like I always do. It's the first time I've done that in a while, where you hit a skeleton, knock their head off, and then you immediately follow it up with smacking their head back towards them. And because their head has a hitbox, you just kill them. You just kill them because of it. Also, you can only hit the ghosts. Also, I can't forget this. There's extra money over there. But you can only hit the ghosts with your regular swing. If you try and poke on them, you just get fucked up. And no, you can't put the heads back on the. You can't put the heads back on the skeletons after you knocked it off, unfortunately. As hilarious as that would be. Okay, if you could. So this guy right here is invincible when he's in pile form, but when he starts jumping around, he's obviously vulnerable. So you just take advantage of him then and just hit him in the face. And luckily, because pogoing in this game is ridiculously good. Like, it's just so effective in all situations. It's just really easy to trap them in rooms like that and just, Ow, I misread that jump arc. And now I feel immensely sad for that. And I'm just going to let that frog jump down there, because I honestly don't care about the 20 bucks. Also, welcome to the other gimmick of this stage, which is pitch black. And things that generate light naturally, like these frogs when they're electrified, and the ghost, because obviously they're going to show you the ghost, because otherwise that'd be really unfair. Give off like a presence that they give off their own light, but anything else just everything else just kind of blends into the background. So you kind of have to wait for those flashes of electricity to do anything. And I thought that was a pillar there, and I completely misread that, so I died. And yeah, the more money you lose off of those checkpoints, the bigger those bags get. But I'm just going to kind of skip over all this stuff because I don't really care. And I messed that up, but yeah, it is very possible to one-cycle those guys as long as you get above them before they start angrily hopping. Ow, and I just ran into that frog without even thinking about it. And this one I'm going to pogo over. And this one I'm just going to... because the other thing that kind of sucks is the enemies that you killed and you took their money from, their money doesn't respawn. So you have no reason to kill them again because, well... Because, you know, they no longer give you money, so why would you respawn them? But luckily, this one is just a bait and switch for a place to go for special items. And this one, I'm pretty sure, is just money. And unfortunately, I kind of need the extra space there. So I'm just going to leave, and I'm going to leave that gold piece behind, which is makes me very sad, but, you know, it's definitely necessary. And I'm just going to desecrate this guy's grave real quick. And luckily for me, I can't go any farther there. Yeah, like I always thought there was like something there, but like no, it's just a bait. Like it makes you think that you could possibly get up there, but yeah. Oh, and then the gimmick with these is as long as you have two objects that are wearing like armor on a platform, it'll fall when there's two on it, but if there's only one, it'll start rising back up again. It'll start gamers rise upping. All right, and then I got Ikora Boldness. That's actually pretty good. Ow. And then I immediately was like, this is not going to end well because there's one holding it in place. I probably could have just waited, but I'm just going to run past there. Now that I've gotten all the extra stuff in the bonus areas, I don't need to backtrack because there's no point. I don't get any extra benefits from going back to the areas. So I've already had 2 more deaths than I was expecting to have in this run through, so that's a little disappointing. But you know. Oh, and unfortunately, yeah, that was the trap. Was if there's 2 enemies on there, then they both count as like a weight property thing, so you just die. So I had to kill the frog before the Armor Knight shows up, because if the Armor Knight comes, then I'm just dead. Alright, and I'm just gonna... That's just like my cheeky little way of baiting that into a better situation, is just to... Oh shit, that was not supposed to be... See, like, I don't get it. The frog is allowed to jump up into the spikes and not die. Why not me? Alright, if you could just not, that'd be great. Alright, so this... So I also have to be careful. Actually, I don't have to be careful of that. But I do want to just be careful in general, because I don't want to risk. Hey, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, so this one I want to bait this frog onto, because... Alright, if you could just... Come on. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Okay, you could just... Oh, no, I'm just gonna... There's a little bit of extra gold down there, but it's nothing important. Actually, I forget. I think they're... Alright, well, they're dead, so I'm just not gonna worry about it. But what you're actually supposed to do is this. I was trying to be... This just continues the pattern of... Kaz was trying to be cheeky with something, and then being cheeky failed, but he didn't want to admit it failed, so he just kept trying to go with it. But yeah, the point was you're supposed to kill the frogs and then bring them up that way. And unfortunately, because actually, I think I can make it. Nope. That did not bounce me anywhere near as high as I was expecting. So I can't go over there for the secret. But I mean, hey, we've got a lot more stuff we got to do anyway, so I guess it kind of makes sense to continue on with our journey. That was not what I wanted. That was really unfortunate. But again, we're right next to the checkpoint, so it's not like much has actually changed. Yeet. Alright, if you could just... Thank you. Alright, and this time, I don't want to bait that guy over too much, because the whole point is I just want to get this there, so that way I can get this set of gold. Hooray! And a music sheet, so that's basically an extra 500 gold after the stage is over. I just remembered that that's actually... Oh, God. And I'm going to desecrate another grave, because obviously desecrating graves is what we do here on SSB Kazarian. Don't take that out of context, please. Anyway. So the gimmick with this room, if I remember correctly, is that the floors are... some of the floors are false. So you can kind of see the gems leading you down in certain directions. But if you fall, like, here... For example, the floor is false, so you don't end up where you want to be. Okay. That is not what I wanted, but alright. Because I accidentally pressed down when... Alright, if you could just... Thank you. And this guy's going to give me chicken. And if you notice... There's no false floors here, because obviously if there was a false floor there, you would die, because there's nowhere else to go. Then we tag that checkpoint, and then we have one more sequence of these like eerily dark rooms that we got to go through. So you kind of just wait for the flashes to light to figure out where you need to run in particular. And then you just do it. Yesterday you said tomorrow, so just do it. Luckily, pretty easy overall to figure out. And the challenges aren't exactly too intense. And that should get us through the final screen before the boss. This boss, honestly, I'm going to pause this right now just so I can have this for the record. Also, I'm going to Alt-Tab because I have a notification. I just want to double-check that's not, like, GVS-related stuff. Okay, cool. It's literally nothing important. It was just the icon server. Always good to know. But yeah, I'm going to put this on stream right now. Do not be surprised. It is 7:53 Eastern Standard Time. Do not be surprised if I'm here for the next, like, 30 minutes. Because this boss always takes me forever to fight the first time around. So, like, just to understand that, like, if I get stuck here, I've warned you ahead of time. Oh no, spooky ghost arrives. Oh. This is no place for the living, mortal. You shall be summoned when it is your time. And everyone has a time, as we saw with your beloved Shield Knight. Lies. I won't believe such talk from phantoms. Your very existence is a vile deception. The enchanter is just full of surprises. He granted me new life, so that I may take yours. Alright, so, Spectre Knight. This boss's gimmick is that he throws size. A lot. That's literally the entire gimmick. This guy's got a scythe. He uses it. Congratulations, you've now discovered the entire boss fight. And the patterns in the beginning are very, very simplified. But, for example, like this pattern here changes things up a little bit. So you kind of just have to pay attention to when. Also, yeah, halfway through the fight, Spectre Knight will start calling down minions to come and fuck with you. Okay. Ow. Yeah, that shot's a little bit tricky to dodge. But luckily, when you hear the shing, you can just jump on reaction. And that's death. Russian Spectre Knight. Well, Spectre Knight's dead. I did not expect that fight to go anywhere near as smoothly as it did, but it went nice and smooth for once in my life. I guess I've just gotten better at video games as I've gotten older. Or maybe I've just remembered the fight really well. I don't know. So that's the end of the first wave of knights. If I recall correctly, there are 7? 7 in particular? But honestly, if we keep going at this clip, I could actually finish a run through of regular Shovel Knight tonight. Since it's 7:56 and we're already done with the first 2 major stages. So this is what I was talking about with the extra, like... With the extra, like, minions here that you can just kind of swoop up for that sweet, sweet, juicy gold collection. And I'm going to bounce off them, and I'm going to bounce off the rat into Shovel Knight, into Shield Knight, because I'm just a god. I'm going to have some night tremors. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to dig myself a nice pile of gold. I'm going to dig this up, and this gives us a meal ticket. Yeah, so in case you haven't been buying meal tickets, you get a free meal ticket after every, like, wave. So now we're going to move on to the second wave, which has 3 different boss fights. 2 of which we can access now. But I'm not going to go to those now because I want to do this special stage that shows up. Just kind of show off all the content that I can tonight. Like I mentioned, I know this game decently well. Like, I played enough of it. Like, I'm not, like, I wouldn't consider myself a Shovel Knight expert by any means. Like, I'm not like, I definitely don't have enough knowledge to say like speedrun the game, but like I know enough to get by. All right, and the trick with this stage is that it's an auto scroller, so all right. I just kind of want to get that extra gold because you all know me. I'm gonna go for that extra gold every time. And luckily, this is the end of the stage. These are very, very short, bite-sized stages where the whole purpose, ayo, my purpose here is just to get more golds. But yeah, we just come back into town. I don't think I got any music sheets from the boss. Yeah, I only had one music sheet, so I don't think I got it from that last stage, unfortunately. But I'm going to talk to the gastrometer. I'm going to give him that meal ticket. Time to drink some water. All right. For those of you who enjoy crude humor and things made by college-age silly guys, there's this group I used to watch all the time on YouTube. Their channel is called Dormtainment, and they used to make like a lot of my high school like life was just rehashing what those guys said over and over again with my friends, just because it was that funny to us. Also, I think I missed his special item, so I'm gonna go buy it. The Phase Locket, which is actually really important. So in case you don't realize what it does, you press your action button and you basically go invincible for a couple seconds in exchange for some magic. But the whole point of that was they made this like fake rap group, like comedy rap group called Tropical Storm, with Busted McThunderstick and Striking McLightning Rod, and they have a song called "Dick Touch the Water," which is just about like, yeah, it's like a minute and a half long. It's a really funny little video. I suggest like anybody watch it, just because like if you like laughing, it'll make you laugh. I guarantee it. Oh, and by the way, if you speak to this dancer lady after you fight Spectre Knight, she just starts dancing. That's the entire payoff of this character. She's like, I'll give you my greatest treasure. Dance! In the meantime, I'm going to use that to drink, because my throat is already killing me. I'm hoping I'm not coming down with anything, especially because I wanted to do more voice acting stuff lately. Because yeah, now that I have this mic, plus I have the pop filter now, so it actually sounds a little bit more professional when I use this microphone, which is definitely really nice. Also, now that I have the Phase Locket, I'm definitely buying at least that second upgrade to my magic, because I am basically going to default to using the Phase Locket whenever I'm in like tough scenarios. Oh, also I never grabbed this chest while we were up here. So that's an extra couple 100 gold right there. So that's nice. Also, the other reason I grabbed the Phase Locket is we now have this special limited stage called the Forest of Phasing. And this stage is literally just here to basically say, hey, did you get the Phase Locket? Good. You may not have used it yet, but we're going to test your knowledge on how to use the Phase Locket. So the entire point of the stage is just going through this area using the Phase Locket as effectively as possible. So it's very, very simple, but like it shows you all the different uses you have for the Phase Locket, whether it's just dealing with enemies or if it's getting over like spikes that are insta-kill, because obviously spikes in a video game are going to be insta-kill. Let's be real. So I'm going to pop that again. And I'm going to pop that a third time because I might have missed that jump if I didn't. And also, the other use for the Phase Locket I like... I'm going to pause while I talk about this because I don't want to get distracted as much. The other use for the Phase Locket that I really enjoy is when you use the Phase Locket, you stop in midair. But the way Shovel Knight's momentum works in the air, which is completely unrealistic, but that makes sense. This is a 2D side-scrolling video game. The whole point is to go for control, not realism, of course. But you can Phase Locket in the air, pause yourself in midair, and kind of see where you'll end up depending on your jump arc. And you retain that momentum, and you regain the horizontal momentum pretty quickly. So even if you Phase Lock it you'll still make most jumps that you were going to make anyway. Like, I'd say maybe 1 out of every, like, 1,500 jumps is something where you actually phase lock it too early and you lose some height, so you just fall to your death. But, like, it happens so rarely, you don't have to worry about it. But I just wanted to say that, because, as I've already mentioned, this is an item that I will be using quite a lot of. Also, Energy Falcon heads. There's a joke in there somewhere. But I am not smart enough to figure out what that joke is, so I'm not going to go for it. But yeah, you get it again. This is another stage. The whole point is just to diverge from the main path, get yourself some stuff for free. So you actually have to fight. You have to fight one of the 3 bosses in general. Just to describe the way this works out is because there's a locked gate here, you can't go this way, and because there's a boss here and a boss here, you can't get to you can't get to the next town. Which the next town is very important because you get the option to get armor upgrades and shield and shovel upgrades. So I'm gonna go to the Explodatorium because it's, I don't know. It's I'd say out of these stages here, the Explodatorium is probably my favorite. And so the gimmick of this stage is just these pillars that shoot fire when you walk over them, and only when you walk over them. They must be like pressure censored or something, so that way when these like really skinny things don't walk over it, it doesn't actually affect it. But yeah. Also, the rats explode, so be wary of that. They literally explode. I wasn't joking when I said that. But I very specifically hit that rat so that way I can get up here and get that. Ow. I love how I'm like, pay attention to the rats. The rats explode. And then immediately I just get hit by a rat exploding. Ow. But yeah, that... So that right there is important because the introduction of those bombing enemies, like these enemies that drop these potions, comes into play a little bit later. Like as you saw there, they can destroy these blocks that you're using as your way of, not getting set on fire. So, I'd say rather important. But it becomes even more important later in the stage when you have to deal with... fuck. I messed that up entirely. Explodage. Yeah, literally, like, everything in this stage explodes. Everything. Also, it sucks because I didn't get actually anywhere on the stage, so I basically have to backtrack the entire stage because I did not hit the checkpoint yet. Luckily, because we've already gotten the gold off of all these enemies and whatnot, we don't have to waste our time chasing after them and killing them, so we can kind of just dodge. We can dip, duck, dodge, dive, and dip, or whatever. There's a reference to dodgeball in there somewhere, but I messed it up. So we're gonna phase lock it through that one. We're gonna collect the carrot because I wasn't paying attention to my health, so I may have been dying. I wasn't sure. And yeah, I can't... Unfortunately, that one you actually can't clear. But there's like, if you see something like that, 9 times out of 10 you can actually clear it. So... Also, ow, I got hit by that. But I believe that's the way I want to go. So I'm going to go this way instead to get this the secret room. Ow. Alright. I got the YOLO jump. Let's go. But luckily, if I really wanted to, I could just kind of use that as an excuse to cheat that jump a bit. But yeah, I'm going to go this way, and this is just a way to get some health. So I'm just going to continue on with the stage as needed. So I don't think you can do it with this enemy, but some of those enemies, basic rule of thumb is if their like weapon of choice flashes red, you can typically hit those back, which was the kind of the point of Mona's minigame from the town. It was just to teach you, like, hey, is it glowing red? It means you could probably hit it back at the enemy, so you should do that. And then this room just introduces you to these timer pots. And obviously, as you can see, some of these timer pots have spikes on them. Oh no! And that'll come into play about like 10 seconds. And of course, now it introduces you to the pots that alternate their timing. And I forget if you can walk on the... okay, you can't walk on the purple gunk. I was trying to remember that. So, it's basically just a game of, are you paying attention to the rhythm? And here we jump. And then we just run across. Super easy. A super easy room. And we can just do that. I want to see... Okay, I can't go up there. Because I always forget if you can actually go up there or not. And I don't want to do that because I'll fall through, and I really want this this mound of dirt. I was pretty sure I was going to be able to hit it from the angle I was at, so... And now I'm going to use my phase locket to kind of cheat my way out of having to actually time that that creature and like avoid its attacks. And there we go. And that's just going to do that. So this area in particular is the area with the gimmick of all these platforms explode. So if you hit any of these things, or if the birds hit any of these things, then it'll just destroy the platforms from underneath you. So there is a way to get that without having a different item that you get from a different stage. But I don't really feel like dealing with that right now, so I'm just gonna ignore it. But there's an item you can get from I think it's actually Propeller Knight stage. So I'm just gonna kind of cheese this one. And now he's going to grow into a behemoth. And for some reason hit me still. So the whole gimmick of this guy in behemoth mode is that he just runs faster. And you can just sit there and kind of jam out some damage. And I'm going to once again just cheese this by phase locketing over all his bullshit. And now he's dead. Luckily, like, again, like, things like that are the reason why I guess you could say I overused the phase locket, but, like, when you can do stuff like that, why wouldn't you use the phase locket? Like, it's so good at what it does. Also, this area is just kind of a test of patience and spacing, just paying attention to how you can approach these situations better. Also, these Green Knights also have the ability to know how to pogo you, because reasons? And also, this is another area where if you don't really want to do the timing, you can always just cheese it by using the phase locket. For example, like, I oh, God. Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, like, I meme about the glider mantle and say that's OP. The phase locket in this game is actually OP. Like, I can just ignore the basic mechanics of a stage by using the phase locket. And then I drop down there. Ow. So here I'm going to pay attention because there's actually more dudes. And I'm going to wait here in particular because those enemies are really annoying. And I don't want to deal with that right now. And I totally meant to do that first one, but not that second one there. But the first one, I actually meant to get through that like that because I was cheesing it by damage boosting and pushing myself off the ladder with the damage boost, just so I could get over here sooner, is what I'm telling myself. Also, I guess I'm just gonna... Guess I'll be boring. I'll just use fire on the clone enemies. Like, I could just fight them the normal way, but why would I? Like, the game gives you these tools. Why not use the tools it gives you? And also, you'll learn something new about the clones here, is they know how to pogo. So you'll have to pay attention to that. But luckily, even though they know how to pogo, they don't know how to jump gaps. So even if you don't like actually push them, or if you don't actually like if you basically if you bait them off a ledge to a different area, you will get them. Real quick, I'm gonna go to my So there's also, to keep in mind, there's 2 pause menus. And unfortunately, the other thing is that I don't like is you have to pause the game in the secondary pause to be able to get to your Icors. And I would have just much rather preferred if I could just get to my Icors straight up. But here I want the phase locket because once again we're at the boss room, and this time we are fighting the first DLC boss. And by DLC boss, I mean the first boss you get to play as DLC, Plague Knight. Leave me alone. Show yourself, Plague Knight. Your trickery will not stop me. Trickery? The fruits of my research are no mere trick. Boom! Now let's have a lesson, shall we? I promise. It'll be enlightening. Get it? Because he uses bombs. Or, sorry, she. Get it? Because she uses bombs. Haha, it's a funny joke. Also, this is gonna be another situation where I just phase lock it through a lot of the bullshit. It just makes life so much easier. Also, you can pogo off of these those bigger exploding things. Ow. Okay, if you could just, can you don't? Yeah, and unfortunately, Plague Knight can use those. Alright. And unfortunately here, I'm running low on health, so I'm going to equip my Chalice so I can use the Icor, because I just want to make sure I don't die here. And that is Plague Knight. Pretty simple fight. Probably the one that is the most steeped in RNG, so... be careful of that, but otherwise, you know, relatively easy fight. And then we go to bed once more. Yeah, so if you guys like the way that looks, and you guys enjoy this playthrough tonight, like I mentioned at the top of this, I'm willing to do the DLC expansions, which are basically their own like campaigns. So like there is a Spectre Knight, there's a Plague Knight DLC that was the first one, and then there's one for oh, never mind, that guy's here. But I'm gonna go to town first. But yeah, there is a. There's DLC for Spectre Knight and there's DLC for Plague Knight, where they basically get their own individual like campaigns where you just play through and do what you have to do. Okay, so there is a sort of special thing in that hat shop, but we're not gonna do that right now, just because I don't. Actually, you know, I think I could do it. I'm gonna go see if I can get. I'm gonna go get some upgrades first. But after I get some upgrades, I am definitely all for going for the thing in the hat shop. If we talk to this guy, he gives you different armor. And the one I usually buy is just the gold one, which is useless. And then that's basically it. Like I don't really care for any of the other armors. I just usually buy the gold one if I have like excessive amounts of money. But this guy, the Shovelsmith here, you can buy like special upgrades to your shovel just to make it better. So I bought, because I'm bored, I bought the upgrade that just gives me, a, I don't know why I keep losing my train of thought tonight. I don't know. I must be distracted. But I bought the upgrade that basically allows me to dig up all those piles in one go. So this is Mr. Hat, and he sells hats. But all his patrons in here, for some reason, are all short 1,000 gold. So we're going to pay them all 1,000 gold to be able to get their stuff and leave. And this man is not happy. This guy is also one of the characters that doesn't gender change when you do body swap. So he's still Mr. Hat. So, Rog, my precious hats. That's a lovely helmet. So lovely. So lovely. I must inquire, sir, about your curious collection. Travel the land far and wide, I do. Searching, learning, teaching, collecting. All shapes, all sizes. Hats! Each one I wear grants me a new power, and your hat looks powerful indeed. Intriguing, but I am rather attached to my helmet. Yes, about that. Hehehe. Young God! So, welcome to Secret Boss number 1. This guy, Mr. Hat. And like he mentioned, every single one of his hats gives him a different power. So now he's going to switch hats, and now he's in his like, bullet hell form. Which, luckily for me, is as easy as just spamming my favorite item. And then he'll switch back to his sword, and he's dead. Because luckily, I, apparently the god of Shovel Knight, am just going to continue carrying us through this adventure. Enough! I know not what came over me. My hunger for hats to control your beautiful hats. It's a helmet. Righto! I knew that. Wear it in good health. For now. Right, well, off I go then. And he just poke us away. So that's just like a little extra. Also, he's just up here. So if you talk to him, he gives you 1,000 more gold. And he's just like, please don't tell anybody I did that. And then you're just like, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to tell somebody if you don't pay me. And I believe I don't have access to it right now. Oh, but I can... Alright, and if I go down here, I'm pretty sure he just leaves now. Oh, also all the patrons are back. No, not you, Leo. I want to talk to the peacock gent. Oh, it's a gent. Probably because body swap mode. It would be my guess at least. But yeah, so you chase him down twice, he leaves. So you get an extra 2,000 gold off that, so make sure you do that when you play. So now, I'm trapped in town by this. So, who's ready for a on-stage mini-boss fight? Because I sure am. This is Baz. Not to be confused with yours truly, but... I can't believe this. Trouble, friends? Have you lost your way? Bought the best gear, the slickest armor, the strongest rope. Pardon? Are you in need of help? Those stuck-up order no quarter clowns have no idea what they're missing. Hey, you look like a knight. Shovel Knight, at your service, but I'm not in league with... So I heard that if you beat a knight, you get to take the title, right? Please, don't do something you'll regret. I don't want to... The Great Baz Knight. I like the sound of that, I do. They'll have no choice but to accept me now. Come on, let's do this. So yeah, welcome to Baz. This guy's entire thing is that he's a whip fighter. And he likes to swing. And he likes electricity. Because, you know, whip fighters all like using electrical attacks. Because that makes sense, right? But yeah, basically my way of cheesing this fight is just to sit here and stay on top of him as much as I can with the pogo. Even when I can't hurt him. Also, this phase sucks because he'll randomly get hit by electricity and he'll just randomly hit you. But we're done. Like I mentioned, phase locket plus pogo attack, way too easy to beat this game. No way! Not even my best moves can phase you! Well, because I was using the phase locket, obviously. Well fought. If you can accept defeat like a true knight, you'll always have your dignity. No, they'll never let me into the order. Never, ever, ever. Wow. Also, I'm just gonna hit him. I'm just gonna hit him and take some extra money out of his pockets. Also, if you try and talk to him, you can't. Hold on. He's slowing down. Let's see. Does he slow down even more? Because this I actually don't know. He like stops whining. Oh no, it's just if you hit him, he speeds up. All right, fine. Screw you. I'm leaving. See you later, nerd. So yeah, there are 3 different of those mini bosses that appear on the map. One of them you can see right there, which I'm immediately gonna go fight him too. This guy's more of a ninja. This is Rise. Let's go, Rise. North from Pridemore, west at the fork. Oh, bother. I must have passed it already. Well met, traveler. Oi! Maybe you can help me. I think I got lost. I was trying to... Wait a second. You're the knight with the shovel. Indeed, I am the knight with the shovel who has been menacing the village. I assure you I have done no such... You gonna use that shovel to bury innocent people? Your reign of terror ends here. Yep, so this is Rise. And unfortunately, this Rise doesn't play Game & Watch, so I have a much harder time figuring out the pattern. So the whole Rise's whole gimmick is that he's a boomerang user, and he likes swinging his boomerangs. He just throws them around. If they hit you, they come back to him permanently. And if they don't hit you, then, well, get fucked. Yeah, all these bosses kind of have their, like, set patterns of, like, what they like to do. This guy, as long as you can kind of, like, keep him without his boomerangs, he's relatively easy to deal with. But then you get to the second phase to get the fireballs, and it's a little bit more annoying. But still just as like capable of being handled. And then I'm gonna phase lock it through that, and that's a kill. Obviously took a lot more damage on that fight than I wanted to, but again, still doing pretty well in these fights. To your worst, villain. Strike me down. I'm no villain. We're fighting a common enemy. We are. Well, why didn't you say so? Wow, I feel like a fool now. Think nothing of it, friend. Knights are strongest when they work together. Yeah, Knight's code. First vow, always help a person in need. Knock him down, Shovel Knight. So he just leaves. We get a music piece from him, and I really like his battle music, so... Yeah. So now we're going to go back to our town. Unfortunately, I don't think I have access to that yet, but, and then I had 5 gold sheets there, or I had 5 music sheets there, so I'm up to almost 17,000 gold, which is nice. Also, I think we've, the Goat-tician doesn't have that many, sorry. I'm gonna buy 2 upgrades for my magic. Then I'm going to go down, and I'm going to buy the item that I missed from Plague Knight's area. I don't know why. I've always missed a couple, like, those items in particular. But, like, it's just a coin. It's just a coin weapon that you can just... You throw the coin, and it hits stuff, and you get stuff if it hits stuff. Like, it's really probably my least used item in the game that I at least pick up. But I like to pick up all the items at some point just for completionist properties. I'm the fastest. No one can outrun me. That's just a nice little visual gag there. But yeah, at some point we will get access to a catapult, so we can catapult between those 2 towns. But for now, we're gonna go to Yeah, let's go to Treasure Knight. So this is everyone's favorite stage in 2D platformers. This is the underwater level. But this underwater level, of course, has twists, including these blocks that are made of bubbles. And when you hit them... Oh. Okay. So I want to set that up there. Okay. Because I want... Okay, that's not what I want. Okay, there we go. So the idea is I basically wanted to be tricky with it and use the shell to pop those, but you basically learn at some point, along the way, that you have to use the shells. You have to get good at angling the way they go in order to cover the most space. Yeah, basically every game, the worst level is the water level. But this game, honestly, this water level isn't too bad, especially if you're good at using your... Oh, and I got the Aqua Fortune. If you're good at using your special items, the stage actually is really easy. And by your special items, of course, you all know I mean the the phase locket. Because if you're using anything other than the phase locket, you're doing it wrong. Or at least that's the way I like to see it. But I don't feel like fighting this this Anchor Knight, so I'm just gonna use the shell to kill the Anchor Knight. But yeah, because of the uniqueness or the unique ideas that the stage implements, like the okay, so I don't want to risk anything. Oh, I was not on my phase locket. I was like, why did I just drop my anchor? That was so weird. So I don't want to risk hitting those spikes, so I'm just going to phase lock it through there. And this basically is teaching you... Nobody saw that. Nobody saw that at all. I'm just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. And yeah, so anyway, the whole point... Okay, I'm gonna phase lock it before I do this. Okay. So what I was going to say is the whole point of this section is to introduce you to... The whole point of this section is to introduce you to these, like these blocks, plus getting used to the underwater physics, combined with shells on the, or spikes on the ceiling. It's just to kind of like train you to be ready for those situations, because obviously the game is going to continue throwing those at you because they introduced it to you once. And it would be really dumb if a game like introduced you to a concept of a thing and then like never used it again. Like, what game would do that? Final Fantasy. I'm joking. There's a lot of games where like they'll introduce you to a mechanic for one level. Oh, so you can't backtrack here, which is sad. Also, I'm just gonna leave because I have no reason to stay here. Oh no! I hit my shoulder button because I'm so used to putting my items on my shoulder button and not my upper button. Yeah, this might as well be hentai at this point, honestly. Alright. The worst part is, using the shoulder button took me off of my favorite item in the game, the phase locket. Also, the other great thing about the phase locket is, when you're bored and you don't feel like fighting anything, you can just phase lock it through all the enemies. And they can't hit you because you're using the all-powerful phase locket, so they respect you as people. Which is probably the only time in life that I will actually be respected as a person. But they respect your space so much that they immediately just they give up on pursuing you in that regard. Okay, if I could just... Thank you. I mean, obviously that wasn't going to do anything there, but I'm just going to phase lock it there. I'm gonna phase lock it here. Because like I said, the phase lock it, best idea ever. It might, I think this might be the only thing in the world that's more overpowered than Brawl Meta Knight. Honestly speaking, I think the phase lock it in this game is more overpowered than Brawl Meta Knight. Also, hey guys, there's a random chest here. This totally is innocent, right? Nope, it's the mini-boss. So yeah, randomly for this level, they decided that their mini-boss is going to be this thing. I don't feel like playing the game right now, so I'm just gonna... Oh, I messed it up. I messed it up big time. Ah, dang it. So if you do that properly, you can actually just ride out on the fake treasure chest. Also, the annoying thing is every time you come here, you have to pretend to dig in the treasure chest every time. But yeah, if you do it properly, you basically will never need to do the actual platforming. Also, I'm gonna not waste my time trying to go after that because I'm not gonna be able to get it. And yeah, that this point also happens to be the weak point of the boss, so hope you're ready to deal with this. Unfortunately, you can't pogo on it because obviously it's a treasure chest, so it has protection from above and below. And then now you know he's going to charge because he's shaking. And unfortunately, this mini-boss does not actually get any more interesting than this. It's just the same repeated pattern over and over again. And this time, I'm going to grab that. So you could, in theory, go back over there, but I don't have... there's a special item you can go there and get. Eel's alive! I haven't had a ride like that in ages. I think I'm going to be sick. Anyway, I'm about to drop another great deal on you, want to see? Also, you saved this man's life, and he still makes you buy the upgrade. I just want to point that out. But yeah. Luckily, being the nice people they are, the people at Yacht Club Games give you a checkpoint right after the mini-boss. Being the nice lads and ladies that they are. Don't want to assume anything, of course, because it's 2018 and dev teams are actually made up of more than just men. Which is obviously just awesome for everybody. Alright, okay, that's not the item I wanted to be using because it's not the phase locket. And if it's not the phase locket, why would I be using it? So this item right here, or no, I was thinking it was an item just because the most recent thing I've seen with this game is actually a playthrough by the Game Grumps. Their playthrough of this game in co-op mode, which is really fun. It's a really fun like playthrough. I suggest if anybody watches stuff like that, which it may just be me at this point, which I completely understand. But if you watch stuff like that, I definitely recommend watching that playthrough in particular. It seemed like one of the few times where I actually recently laughed at the content they were making. It was actually funny and entertaining. As opposed to a lot of their current content, which just makes me want to fucking... It basically makes me want to do that to myself. Just fucking throw a missile in my face and die. But yeah. Oh. Yeah. I'm just gonna pogo off that guy. And now that I don't have to go through all that shit again... Yeah, unfortunately you can only do this with the falling ones. But it is nice the fact that they actually give you the option of beating the shit out of those guys with their own, thing. Oh, shit. Well, I almost fucked that up entirely, but luckily, as we all have learned today, I'm assuming, if you've paid attention at all, then you've learned this lesson. The phase locket is stupid broken. And now, because I keep getting hit by this, I can't use the phase locket on the ladder. It's the only downfall of the phase locket. Oh, shit. I'm trying to be cheeky with it. And get these, cute little skips. There we go. Oh, nope. Don't throw your anchor at me. Alright. Okay. Ow. Stop. Stop throwing anchors at me. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop throwing anchors at me. You degenerate human being. You might not even be human. I don't know. You're just a piece of armor in my face. And I don't much care for armor in my face. Right. And then... Oh yeah, and then we're randomly not in an underground section for this. But don't worry about it. It all makes sense in the end. Or, it makes sense that this part of the ship isn't flooded. Because, honestly, I got no idea. Alright, I'm basically gonna skip through as much of this bullshit as I can. Because I really just don't enjoy dealing with that. Also, I'm gonna phase lock it through this. I'm just gonna drop down, and I'm not even gonna waste my time going for that super special area up to the top. And I'm just gonna keep going. Because honestly, with the passion of 1,000 suns, I hate this level. This level is the worst, and we're almost done with it, which is the nice thing. So unfortunately, there's no secret health item here, but honestly, Treasure Knight isn't too hard to deal with. Also, the difference here is Treasure Knight in normal form, I guess I'll call it. I guess non-body swap form is like big and bulky and wearing this giant suit, and apparently here they were just like, oh, let's give her a trench coat with a fucking belt around the waist so you guys can see the difference in the fact that now she has chest and hips and all that girly things. My gems, my vessel, my ocean, your very presence tarnishes. You are not to lay claim to the sea. You are to lay claim to the sea itself. Your greed knows no bounds, Treasure Knight. Your hands are no less dirty. Even now, others are paying for your avarice. Let us duel, winner take all. So this fight is kind of annoying. It's not like the most annoying fight in the game, because there are a lot of annoying fights in Shovel Knight, unfortunately. But this fight is still up there as one of the more annoying ones. Oh, so yeah, she randomly will just do a shockwave on the ground. Yeah. And then we just phase lock it through that. And that right there is also, yeah, this part you can kind of cheese. Done. Right on your body. Dancing right on your body. Girl, how you doing? Zam, girl, how you doing? So yeah, that's 5 bosses down. And I know there's 1, 2 more that I can think of that we haven't done yet. Or at least one. There might only be one. No, there's at least 2 after this that I know we haven't done. Which one of them is probably my favorite stage in the game, just because it does the best at taking advantage of the system that Shovel Knight has brought in for its game. Blah 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 blah. Music sheet. I think no. I wanna go down and see if I can get some. I'm gonna go see if, because I definitely missed the item here. No, I didn't miss the item. It was the anchor. Because I need one item in particular before I do the secret area in this stage, or this, I guess, phase, I'll call it, this wave of enemies. But there's one, the one bonus stage you need the Dust Knuckles for, which you get in the stage we're about to do, but knowing me, I'm gonna miss it. Also, I'm gonna go do this this gem stage, because why wouldn't I? All I have to do is make sure I don't die. Hey. Unfortunately, I missed a lot of the fucking gold there, but whatever. Luckily, this, no matter what, like, all these, like, even if you don't get the extra stuff, there's always... Ah, damn it. I missed that jump. And drop down. And that's the end of this bonus stage. Luckily, there's a lot of extra gold in the bonus stages, so whenever you see them pop up, you should definitely do them. It's just always worth. So this is another area I've never done before. Might do that at the end of the stream if we have time. But yeah, it's 8:43 and we're almost done with this this like second wave of things. But yeah, the first secret here is literally just, hey, have you been paying attention to basic functions of the game? Cool, you have a chest. And also you get introduced here to the lava forms of these slimes, which literally, if you're paying attention, the lava forms are just, hey, did the slime get hit by a drop of lava from the ceiling like that? Then congratulations, it's now the lava form. And then you can kind of cheese that and go there, which I'm going to do because I don't feel like dealing with any of the bullshit. So yeah, there's like extra gold there I could have gotten. But yeah, this stage, being the typical lava stage, is not like as stereotypically like lava stage as you would expect, which I really enjoy. Because obviously you have this section here where you're just going across this beetle. You're just riding this beetle. And luckily, because I have the dig upgrade, I can just get through that immediately. And then this is the end of the beetle section. But luckily, the beetle is nice and doesn't die here, because there's a nice gap in the wall to stop it. So you just kind of keep moving forward. But in the later stage that uses that enemy, I forget. Can I walk over this? Yeah, I can. So I don't like fighting that guy ever because he's just annoying. So I just like did damage boost through him. And then here you get introduced to new pogo fodder number 1. This fish. And the nice thing about this fish is normally with the pogo fodder it dies instantly, but the whole point of this fish is that you can't kill it like by pogoing on it. You have to slash at it. So unless you go out of your way to fight it, or unless you go out of your way to actually like try and kill it, you always have a pogo place. And also this stage just kind of makes you pay more attention to what you're doing with this stage makes you pay more attention to the mounds and whatnot, because now there's moles in the mounds because reasons. Alright, and then that fish is gonna pop up. And then that fish is gonna pop up, and then that, and that, and that, and that. And there you go. Luckily, the fish are all pretty rhythmically timed, so you don't have to like think too hard about like doing it. Especially this wave right here. It's like purposely timed, so you'll never miss. Like it. I guess my only complaint about that part is just that, well, like, you didn't really do anything. Like, yeah, sure, you did what you had to do, but like, it wasn't exactly a challenge. You just kind of press forward and do it. Were there like certain points in the later portions of this? Okay. And I had to focus there because I've died on that way too often. So I just didn't want to risk anything. But yeah, here is another Chester spot. And he gives you that item that I totally said I needed. the Dust Knuckles. And the whole point of the Dust Knuckles is every time you press their button, you dash through a pile of dirt like that. And it just makes it kind of like changes up the dynamic of how you can travel through certain areas. Oh, also you can't pogo on the flaming guys because obviously they're on fire. Oh, did I get? Okay, that's weird. Oh, crud! I wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, because yeah, because my Twitch thing, like my webpage, just said welcome to the chat room, even though like I've been here the entire time. Like I haven't left. Because I always leave that open in case I want to in case I need to type a message to people. Oh, dang it. I forgot that I wasn't using the face locket, so I wasn't going to be able to tell if I made that or not. And the unfortunate... We're just going to pretend that one didn't happen. We're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. Because that totally... Am I an idiot? Am I just an idiot? I might just be an idiot. Yeah, because I don't think you can clear that jump without doing this. Oh yeah, and here you learn about the globs that make the bouncies. And also, by getting this chest here, you get to see the mechanic of the green blobs only last a certain amount of time. So you have to, you actually have to pay attention to how you're doing it. But here, I don't much care for... I am so used to having the phase locket on that I just completely spaced. I'm just gonna hold that one. All right, phase locket. My old friend, the phase locket, has never let me down before, and will continue to not let me down because I trust it. I trust it more than I trust myself in certain life situations. And I messed that up. But yeah, what was the point I was trying to get at? Yeah, this game just does a really good job of introducing mechanics to you and then immediately subverting expectations. And I can't touch the lava even while phased? Okay, that's good to know. I guess that makes sense. Even if you're phased, you'd probably slip into the lava. If you slip into the lava, you're not recovering. Oh well. It's good to know for future use. I am not going back for those bags then. Well, actually, I mean I could. Because I do this. Actually, no, I don't do that. Because what I could do is that instead. To kind of cheese that and get those. I messed that up. I was just a touch early on that. Yeah. Yeet. Okay. Luckily, no matter when you touch that, you have time to get the other things you need out of it. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to get that. Actually, there we go. Learning how to cheese the system with me, Kaz. And I probably should have tried to bounce up there. I'm gonna sit here and wait for a second because it seems like I'm having some connection issues with my internet, and I don't want to risk losing this file, especially less so because I need it for the VOD, more so because I just don't want to lose connection here. It seems like I should be fine, but guess I just have an excuse to drink some wholesome American soda. All right, I'm gonna continue on because I feel like it should steady up by the time I continue playing, but we'll find out. And yeah, so the whole thing there is you just don't even waste your time fighting him. Just also, I don't waste my time fighting that guy because once again, I don't like dealing with him. And this one, I want my Dust Knuckles for. No, it is not cola. Well, I mean, I guess, yes, sort of. It's cola. It's Dr. Pepper. So I'd say it's as close to cola as you can get without actually drinking cola. So. Yeah, the worst part about this is it actually forces you to free some of these guys. And I just don't like dealing with them. No. Oh no! I was not gonna be able to get that. Okay. Okay, but the stream's still running, so I'm just gonna... Stream is still running, right? Somebody, hopefully somebody in the chat will tell me if it's not. Yeah, Umaru. I just started watching that recently, actually. Because while I play Monster Hunter, I just need something in the background that I don't have to pay attention to, but is entertaining enough that, like, if I catch a glimpse of it, I will, I'll be able to, like, still enjoy it. So, recently, before I was watching Umaru, I was watching Blend S, which, for those of you who don't know, it's the one with the meme with the maids at the beginning. Like, that was a big meme for a while. But here we have Mole Knight, where the only difference is, well, now she has long, flowing, fiery hair, and she has a skirt. Because obviously all armored female knights wear skirts. Because that's just the thing, I guess, according to Yacht Club Gaming. Which I guess kind of makes sense, given like it feels more like a feminine thing, but like it's not, but it is, but it's not. But like, you know what I mean. Anyway. You're lost on your depths, Blanca. Are you lost? These ruins belong to the ages, Mole Knight. They're mine now. But more importantly, is that your digging implement? I'm astonished you made it 10 feet down with that rascal trinket. I will bury you. Yeah, I would not have known about Blend S if it wasn't for all the memes. Oh, that was weird. I swore I jumped there. But honestly, Mole Knight, probably one of the easier fights in the game. Yeah. Unfortunately, here you kind of have to hold the L and just wait. And then Mole Knight will drop down like that. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I didn't get the, I did not want to get to that second pillar drop cycle while not being on top of Mole Knight, but I should have realized that because of the side that Mole Knight started on, that she would end up over there. But, hey, live and learn, I guess. Chat is super lagged and stream keeps buffering for me. I tried to refresh, but it didn't help. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to do this real quick, and then I'm going to see if I can fix my internet at all. Kind of try and, like, disconnect any of the things that are on it that don't need to be on it. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna pause where I am, and I'm gonna see about possibly fixing my internet issues real quick. So just bear with me on this one. Yeah. I guess in the meantime I can just I'll sit here and say what's up and look at the background. But control delete. Yeah, I need to yeah, because that's not using too much of my CPU or GPU at all. So I can end that task. Technically speaking, I can end Discord because I don't need Discord open while I do this. I can't close Steam because otherwise it'll close my game. And getting rid of those two things alone has immediately brought my signal back up to a green solid signal. So yeah, I guess moral of the story: unless you need it, close Discord while you stream. I guess in the meantime, I'm gonna take a sip of water. But yeah, try if you guys haven't done so already, try refreshing your streams. Everything should look a little bit nicer now and sound a little bit nicer, and chat shouldn't be as lagged. So, in the meantime, while we wake up, we get another ticket for the gastrometer, or Stromener, or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, we get his thing. And before we go back, also there's two things popped up. The one that's obviously important is the Black Knight, which damn, well, see, Kenny glitched the fuck out. I don't know, did I? Brat! No, it's not horror movie mode. That's for October. October is Spooky Games Month. Hot, 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 hot. Nah, the awkward thing is I can't see anything. Alright, beautiful. Alright, alright. Ah, now the mole. Oh no, everyone else missed Spooky Games Month, Kaz. Speaking of, I still need to check for that setting. Because I've been told that certain webcams have like a night vision setting, and I was thinking like, oh, okay, there's my face locket. There we go. There we are. Oh, are you kidding me? Alright, never mind. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. But yeah. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. If I could punch through all this dirt. But yeah, this like secret area is like not really a challenge per se. It's more so just like, I'd say honestly this one is just a test of patience and how much you like are willing to just like constantly sit there and mash the triangle button before you get to the end. Yeah, but those chickens will kill themselves eventually. Stupid chickens. Cow and Chicken. Great show. Anybody remember Cow and Chicken? Press subscribe if you like Cow and Chicken. Oh wait, I'm pretty sure everybody watching right now is already subscribed, so whoops. Can't make that joke, unfortunately. Well, I mean I can, but it's just lost on And we made it. Like I said, this secret area was literally just it was just a test of patience. It wasn't exactly a test of skill. But yeah, there are 3 more bosses. Oh, I forgot about him. I was sitting there like, oh man, I've only got 2 more bosses, and then I can start the ascent on the final castle. No, there's 3. I know exactly which one I forgot about. Just because like I always like mix up their stages because they always feel familiar to me. Like they feel like they're the same, but they're definitely not. But I'm always just like, oh, this is the same stage. And also I didn't miss any items, so I'm not gonna buy anything. Oh, I'll just show off a pun. Croaker, a shovel knight. I know things are tough, but don't throw in the trowel. Actually, you know what you guys could do if you're watching right now and you haven't done so already? Y'all should go to my... Oh, hey! There's a catapult. Yeet! Guess where we end up? The second town. It just kind of gives you an excuse to have a way of fast traveling. And then I'm gonna... Yeet! And the reason I do this yeet is so I can immediately turn in this... And also the fact that I haven't bought, or I have a ticket for the gastrometer that I haven't used yet, and I can buy more magic. So I kind of want to do both those things. Also, she whistled at me, so I'm gonna. Ooh, you got a pretty face. You should come here more. You should come visit often. Well, I mean, I do, woman. You should recognize me. But yeah, if you haven't done so already, y'all should go to my my totally not really useful right now, but useful in the future YouTube channel, and hit subscribe, because you can always I always leave the VODs up for I always leave the VODs up here for streams, and I'm planning on going back and actually doing some actual video editing soon. So look forward to that. But for now, it's just a place where if you ever miss any of my streams or anything, the VODs usually go up. I need to be better about it, but I try and put them up the night after I'm done with it. But you know me, I'm lazy about certain things. Also, there's a shortcut here. But yeah, we're gonna go fight the second Black Knight thing. Fuck. With you by our side, Black Knight, total domination is within our grasp. I beg of you, take my words to heart. Your safety is my only concern. Then all of a sudden... Was that the enchanter? Tell me what... You? Haven't you tired of this charade? Stay out of this. You never were one to blindly follow, Black Knight, but the order and the enchanter must be stopped. Fool, you're headed down a ruinous path. The only path I seek leads to the Tower of Fate, and I will reach it. Never steal thy shovel. Alright, where's my face locket? So this is Black Knight fight number 2. It's not that much different from the first one, honestly speaking. Ow! Dang it. Fuck you. Ow. Fuck off. No. Stop shoveling at me. It's not allowed. I am the Shovel Knight. Ow. It's like Black Knight is just staying right outside of my range when she pogos. Okay, can we just... Thank you. I just wanted to end that real quick. It wasn't real quick, but it is over at least. But yeah, that second Black Knight fight just shows up. You always have to do it before you reach the final boss because, well, A, you won't be able to get too far in here without it, and B, well, obviously. So let's see, it's 9:07. I feel like we could get most of these done before I end stream for the night, so we can pretty much knock out this game almost entirely tonight, and then the next time we play will be will probably be like an hour-long thing where we finish up and then maybe start a new one of the campaigns, which I've played, so that way you guys understand. I have played all of the campaigns, so I have played through. It took me a while because I just hated the way that Plague Knight controlled, but I have finished the Plague Knight campaign, and I have finished the Spectre Knight campaign. Also, Spectre Knight campaign, best campaign. Like, high key. I think the Spectre Knight campaign I actually enjoyed more than the main game of Shovel Knight, which you guys are seeing here and now, and the main game is already so good. Like, saying that like I enjoyed the DLC game more than this should say a lot about how I actually feel about. Ow. Can you don't? Alright. You could just, thank you. Alright, you could just... Thank you, just die for me. Oh shit. That's a bomb. No big deal. Just no big deal on the bomb there. Alright. Dig that pile up, get that money. Oh shit, I accidentally hit that. Alright. The one... I just realized I haven't touched on that mechanic because I never do it, and I probably never will, is, if you notice the checkpoints are made with, glass, like, spheres. If you attack the sphere enough, you lose the checkpoint, like, forever, but you do gain a lot of extra, like, gold for it. So it's like a risk-reward system of, do I actually keep the checkpoints around for the safety in case I fuck up and inevitably need to start over closer, or do I risk it because I need some extra gold here or there, / I like the challenge. It's a very interesting concept, honestly, and I never do it because I am a chicken shit coward, and I am notoriously bad at video games that aren't Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64. So, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with my nice, safe, checkpoint-included version of Shovel Knight. Alright, and then we're gonna grab some money here. Alright. Yeah, unfortunately, the ice physics kind of, like, they aren't terrible, because if you just like do a short hop, it'll alleviate most of the issues that it creates, but at the same time, like, it's still ice physics, and ice physics still suck all the penis. So, and like, not in the good way. Because obviously I've said that a lot on this channel. You guys should obviously understand my feelings on the entire penis and how much clearly I must enjoy it, because I do say it a lot. But yeah, just one of those things that kind of just sucks. But like, ice physics in general sucks, so like, who's actually surprised? Answer, probably no one. And then I'm just gonna pogo on this guy's head a couple times and collect some gold, especially over here. Luckily, these platforms are spaced well enough that you don't need to worry about. Well, actually, I forgot. There's a reason why these platforms are spaced as perfectly as they are. It's because you need this. You need to carry this puking rainbow platform just a little bit farther. So this is like the main like mechanic of this area, I guess. Is those puking platforms. It's not like the most interesting thing in the world, but they're interesting enough. They suffice, and they do their job well enough. Although, speaking of doing their jobs well enough, I really wish I could get some extra health, because Lord knows I could use some health right now. Okay, if you could just dive bomb at me real quick, that'd be great. If you could dive bomb at me again so I can get that, that'd be great. Oh, and this is where I want my anchor, because killing these enemies in general is just really annoying. So yeah, and luckily I now have my checkpoint. Where's my super suit? Yeah, ice physics are generally really annoying in video games, but like these ones are, I guess I would call them passable. But yeah, that's that situation there is yet again another situation where I'm just going to manipulate everything that I can in order to get through a section without the least amount of issues possible. And there it's like, oh, you got to the middle. We obviously want you to use the hunting horn and deal with that. My response is, how about no? Yeah, I kind of just let the puppers kill themselves, because Lord knows I don't have time for that. I just don't have time to deal with these dogs. If I had time to deal with dogs, then I would have a pet. Like, okay? Okay. Oh, fuck. See, I was doing the dumb thing. The smart thing there is just to, you have the anchor for a reason. Use the goddamn anchor. But me being a very silly young boy was like, nah, I don't need the anchor. I'll be fine. No, this is like the one. This is the one time I'd say in this game where you end up on a stage where a lot of the main mechanics of the stage revolve around an item that you get somewhere else. I'd say that's a pretty accurate statement, honestly, of this level in particular, just because, like, you're gonna be using the anchor a lot. Like, you just kind of need to. Okay. So now that I got this, I can just kind of cheese the system. Suddenly that wolf was back. Because if you wander too far away from certain sections, then the enemies tend to respawn. And there we go. Yeah, and then this kind of... Ow. Nailed it. All right, and then this is actually I was gonna say that's actually a feat. There is that set of enemies is purposely. Anyway, that group of enemies is specifically laid out to make you, to give you the opportunity to use the anchor and hit 3 enemies in one throwing arc and kill them all. That's literally the entire point of the anchor. Or the entire point of that section in particular. Like it serves no other purpose to have those enemies in that specific arc, in that specific time frame, except for the fact that they were like, oh, we want to be able to give them an achievement for going back and using our weapons in an area where they definitely weren't going to use them. Alright. Bap. Alright. I almost made it. Timing was almost brilliant. Almost. Nice. Alright. Ah, fuck. That was the literal worst timing I could have on that. I was sitting there like, I really hope I don't accidentally jump into the spike and kill myself. Ah, fuck, I missed. But yeah, I did exactly what I didn't want to do, so that's cool. Nope. Game, if you could just, can you don't? Beautiful. Yeah, yeet, yeet, yeah. And that guy's gonna throw a hammer, but he always throws it to the left first. That way you don't get hit, at least on the first ones. That way, by the time you get hit, you totally deserved it. Ow. Try to damage boost that. Is what I'm telling myself. Ah, God, I am just playing this so terribly for no reason. Maybe because I feel like it. I don't know. I guess I just like hate myself right now. I feel like I deserve punishment. Got it. Alright, I just don't feel like dealing with any of that right now. I'm just gonna... Alright, I think this is the end of the level, actually. So... Chicken? Chicken. Alright. Time for another pretty creative boss. Polar Knight. And obviously the differences here are she has boobies and lipstick. That's or kind of like she's got like the weird blue shading around her lips that kind of makes it look like a lipstick, but kind of not. I don't know, but yeah. So, my old friend, the day has finally come. This will be our final duel. Should we not lay down our shovels and part as equals? The order has no equals. Surely you can recognize power. Join us. You've forgotten our oath. What happened to the proud warrior I knew? Humph. No more words. The bitter cold will claim you. So this boss is, I'd say, honestly, this boss is probably one of the best uses of all of Shovel Knight's abilities. Like, in general. And we're just gonna... And the other annoying thing about this boss is, she likes to create spikes like that, and I completely fucked up because I was sliding my hand towards triangle, and I completely missed. So, but this is another fight that I kind of like to phase lock and spam through, just because it's so good. Why wouldn't I? And then I can stand right there. So you kind of have to... The nice thing is Polar Knight is at least not dumb enough to just let you sit there and pogo on you all the time. Like, you actually have to think about what you're doing in some regard. Because if you just sit there and pogo on her, she will just eventually retaliate swipe at you. So you actually have to, like... Luckily, I was able to damage the roost through that, and just because video game logic, I'm going to stand on the spikes that should have killed me. Beautiful. And Polar Knight, just like every other boss, has kind of like a unique death animation, or like a unique death state that they get put into. Polar Knight just gets buried alive in snow. Like Mole Knight gets carried away by a crew of moles, and Queen Knight just starts crying because she's a little bitch. Yeet. Yeah, so we don't have. So this is the final like wandering hero. And guess what? It's yet another hero that uses electric powers because obviously 2 out of the 3 of them totally needed electric powers. What magic is this? Power, honor, the traits of a respectable warrior. Sir, I don't believe we met. We meet today on the field of battle. We have both defeated many knights and traveled far. Today, we fight. Stand aside. You and I have no reason to battle. Conflict is a reason unto itself, brave knight. Today, you will be tested. Are you ready? Well, even if I wasn't ready, you're going to fuck me up now. So, also, I love the fact that this boss is actually a fencer. But unfortunately, this is another boss that has the... this is another boss that suffers from, I get fucked up by Pogo syndrome. But luckily, the lightning coming around from the sky kind of helps alleviate a lot of that issue, except for the fact that now he's dead. I forgot to read his name. This guy, I'm pretty sure his name's just like Wandering Hero or something. Phantom Striker. Ha! I've been bested. But barely, you still need training to overcome what lies ahead. Farewell, Shovel Knights. Bitch, I fucked you up. Also, he only gives you, like, pennies. It's really funny. But I believe that guy, like, depending on how well you do in that fight, determines what his end line is. And obviously, because I got hit a lot, I didn't do great. So, if we're going to end tonight, normally I would want to end it on a high note of, like, a boss I prefer. But I feel like I want to save Propeller Knight for the next time I stream this game, just because it'll give me something strong to come into that stream with and be like, yeah, we're gonna go to the Propeller Knight stage, and that stage is fucking awesome. So we're just gonna do Tinker Knight and get this out of the way. Yeah, Tinker Knight stage is interesting. Like, I wouldn't say it's not bad. It's also not, like, amazing, I guess. It's like, it's passable. It does what it has to do, but, like, I don't know. Like, there's way too many times where I'm just like, wow, this is just a rip-off of a Metal Man stage from Mega Man. But, like, they do enough for it to be serviceable, for it to be like, okay, it's not the exact same thing. Look, I'm totally using a different mechanic right here and now. Also, I like the fact that the wizards in this one, they don't shoot balls of electricity. They shoot those but they shoot the cogs, and the cogs in particular roll on the ground because, you know, obviously that's what those cogs would do. Cogs don't usually fly through the air. They would just land on the ground and roll. And I just love the fact that they actually, like, did that with, also I just realized I completely fucked myself on being able to get up there and do whatever the fuck that is. So we're just gonna go right through here and not give a fuck. Also, we can't get through there yet. Also, I honestly, with the burning passion of 1,000 suns, I hate those enemies. But yeah, the cogs here are used serviceably well. Like, I like, for aesthetic purposes, I really do love the stage. Like, the stage looks wise, is great. Like the soundtrack, like I can't say anything about the soundtrack because like that's unfortunately as much as it kind of sucks to say this. Although it kind of doesn't, because I'm basically just blatantly just kind of pseudo blowing the guy who made this soundtrack, but I'm pretty sure this was Jake Kaufman made the soundtrack, and my God, like there's basically like not a single bad song in this game soundtrack. Like I will say that till the cows come home, and obviously it's clearly not a point of contention for anybody, because like if you go online and look up like any forum posts or anything, like everybody's just like, there is not a single person in the world that thinks Shovel Knight's music is bad. And if they do, they literally have no idea what they're talking about, or they're just being douchey hipsters just for the sake of being douchey hipsters. Also, I obviously knew there was a secret there from my year of experience. Oh fuck! Can you just die? Thank you. I really wish they would just let me like hit that block there and just go through here. Yep, and yeah, this is I'd say like honestly like challenge wise, there's nothing really in the stage that should be challenging you. Also, that's that for the first time in a while was probably an actual example of me doing of me using the phase locket to both A, make sure I correct a jump, and B slow down time enough to like make a jump properly. So I'm just gonna. Oh shit! I always forget that that item in particular, I believe, actually just jumps on its own. So like I always try and jump for it, and then I end up dying. So yeah, I want to go back there purely because I want I want my money back because I have lost a lot of money. Fuck. But yeah, I'm gonna go back there because I want my money back. And luckily, it's super easy to traverse. See, once again, I gotta use the power of the phase locket. Okay, I missed one bag, but whatever. Suit me. I don't care. Fuck. Fuck. Can you don't? Can Alright, have you considered fucking off? Like, hear me out. I've heard it's a great idea to increase your chance of living. Oh my god, did that just... I think I may have just phase locketed and killed myself with the phase locket. So that's great. Can you just die? Thank you. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna miss that jump because I am bad at video games. And we're just gonna... Okay, that's not at all what I did, but okay, game. Flying brooms. Yeah, no, unfortunately, they're not flying brooms. They're just missiles. Okay, so... Let's say if Mama ever taught me anything about this game, it's always use the phase locket. Just always use the phase locket. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter why you're doing it. Just use the phase locket. Alright, I'm pretty sure this is that's the right way to go, so we're not going that way. Because I, obviously, want some free gold. Okay. So what you're supposed to do is not what I'm about to do. But I, like, half did what you're supposed to do. So it's okay. Shit. I knew that was the wrong thing to do, but I was just going to try it anyway because I'm a silly boy. But yeah, I'm just going to phase lock it again because, like, even if I don't remember it myself, I hope the one thing you guys take away from this stream is, when in doubt playing this game, use the goddamn phase lock it. It's just so good. Like, why would you use anything other than the phase lock it? The phase lock it is just vastly superior to everything. Phase lock it, best waifu. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I missed. I'm dead. Yeah, I think if you have enough magic, you can cheese that section and kind of just go through it without... You can kind of, like, let the platform go ahead of you a little bit. I mean, honestly, there's no other item in the game that you should waste your time remembering the name of. Because the only item that matters is the phase locket. Like, as much as it is a meme, it's not at the same time. Like, it's... So I'm just going to kind of pogo these guys to one side of the platform. Because if you notice, every time I pogo them, they go a little bit farther back. So by the time I get here, I can kind of just leave. And I'm not going to let that, I'm not going to let that, fuck. Yeah, they thought that was going to be tricky by putting, you know, 2 enemies there. But what they forget is that they give you the power of the phase locket. So, like, there's no such thing as a difficult obstacle for you anymore because now you have the phase locket. It just kind of carries you through everything. Like, even if... Do you not know what you're doing? Phase locket. Need to figure out where to go? Phase locket. Dead body you need to hide? Phase locket. You know, just like the phase locket does everything. Like, why would you do anything? Why would you use anything else? There's no point. Alright, so I think if I cheese this properly, I can... Okay, I have to wait for this to come around, but I'm pretty sure I can jump where that gem is and just go, like, around that way. It doesn't have to be in one piece. Oh, no. Thank God. I didn't want to have to wait for the platform to roll all the way back around. But yeah, this kind of lets you skip this that enemy right there. And you get a lot more gold for it. But now we're at the section, the annoying climb for your life section. Okay, so I'm going to kind of use that as an excuse to show where I was. Because the problem is with this section, you can't go too fast. Because then obviously if you go too fast, you die. But if you don't go fast enough, you die. So you kind of have to like play that perfect balance of like, am I going too fast? Am I not going fast enough? Like, okay, also I'm not going to knock that all the way because there's a healing chicken here. And then we take this. All right. So for this boss in particular, you should notice the fact that I started off with the gear. Also, Tinker Knight. I don't actually know how they changed her into a girl. I'm pretty sure they just gave her pigtails. Ah! Did you make all that noise? I can't think straight. I have so much work to do. Just work on letting me pass, little friend. Oh, big words, Tin Gal. I'll show you a thing or two. So, fun fact. Using the gear on this boss one-shots it. But, welcome to phase 2. Where Tinker Knight jumps into her little shell of whatever she wants to call it. Anime bullshit. And yeah, this fight kind of devolves into just stay on the mech. Just get in the mech, Shinji. And this part right here, you kind of just have to... As long as you're careful and you as long as you're like paying attention to what's going on around you, you'll be fine. Which unfortunately I've kind of fucked up on this already a little bit. Like I could have easily gotten through this on one cycle, but well, maybe even maybe a 2 cycle. But that's a dead Tinker Knight. Borger. Oh god, if you could one-shot a boss with the phase locket, then I would never stop talking about the phase locket, honestly speaking. Okay, so it's 9:40. You know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try and see how far we can get in Propeller Knight stage, because I honestly think if I play well enough, we could get through that now. And then also, real quick, oh wait, no. So I got the cog and I got the horn, so I got the other items I need. But I'm gonna try and spend this last 20 minutes getting through Propeller Knight stage. That way, by the time the next time we come around to this, it'll just be the final boss area, which, like a normal Mega Man game, the final boss stage is actually broken up into like 3 different mini stages and then the final boss. So yeah, so the first mechanic of this stage is electric jellyfish. They are electric and they are jellyfish. That's about it. You also get these little like curtains where you like can't see what's going on, but like yeah, so those balls are designed so that way you can't just jump over them, which is funny because like you still can just jump right over them. Yeah. So obviously the entire gimmick of the stage is air and wind and just gusts pushing you one way or another in certain rooms. And in other rooms, you just deal with these annoying Propeller Knights. But not the Propeller Knight, mind you. The Propeller Knight is even more flamboyant than these guys. I know. Sounds impossible, right? Wrong. Totally possible. And very accurate. Yeah. The next mechanic they give you that like matters, I guess, is these cannonballs. You can poke off the cannonballs. And now that they've introduced you to these large cannonballs, the concept of the enemies pushing you with the wind, and everything else, you're now introduced to all these things back to back in this next room. Or I think it's this next room, or like the next like major wind room. Okay, I'm just gonna. If you remember your lesson, always remember, phase lock it. When in doubt, phase lock it. Also, that sucks because I completely messed that up. Okay, but luckily, with the power of pogoing and not actually destroying things, I was able to recover. And I don't even need to burn a face lock use on this, as much as I wanted to. So this boss, I hate this mini boss because it forces me to not it forces me to burn up a little bit more magic than I would want by cheesing it with the pogo stick. But luckily, you know, it dies pretty quickly, and they give you an apple at least, because, you know what they say, an apple a day keeps the flying ship away. But yeah, this stage, I honestly, I think I'm gonna still agree with my assessment from earlier. I honestly think that this stage is both my favorite stage and the most creative stage. Like, I think this is the stage that, in conjunction with Shovel Knight's abilities, I honestly think this is the stage that does the best job at... Okay, so you may be wondering, why are you doing this? Well, you need to give yourself enough downward momentum there to be able to actually carry across. I was about to say something important, but I hate apples though because they keep the doctor away. Fair enough. But yeah, okay. Yeah, and basically the point of this item here is just got a very wide gap you got to cross. Press the button and you'll fly far. Basically, it just kind of helps correct you whenever you're about to misfly over a gap. Yeah. Luckily, it gives you a nice little, like, creative secondary route to get used to the mechanics before you get back into the rest of this stage. Now, granted, you for sure do not need this item to finish the stage. And that's the other nice thing about Shovel Knight is, like, most of these stages, you don't need their items to finish. Like, you can just do it. Yep. Again, just more pattern recognition, paying attention to basic things. Nope. Ah, fuck. Yeah, that one I was playing a little bit looser with. Ah, dang it. So that one I kind of just fucked up because I was trying to be ballsy. I'm confused as to how I got hit by that, but alright. There we go. Where's my face locket? Well, messed that up entirely, but I obviously can't blame the face locket on that, because that would be dumb. Why would you blame the face locket, the best item in the game, for your own faults as a player? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, you have to... Alright, where's... Okay. A little bit longer, a little bit more out of the way, but did what it needs to do. Nope. Oh, shit. I was surprised. I was surprised I didn't make that, but whatever. Alright, got all our gold back, which is really nice. Yeah, so this section's just kind of... You get like a nice little bit of wind pushback here. You never have to worry too much about it. If you ever feel like you're about to get caught by something, you just... Like, you can see, like, I'm barely sliding here, honestly. And the fact that I can use my normal run, like, speed to just catch up there is, it's not, like, it gives you that extra little challenge and, like, tests you on whether or not you're actually paying attention, but it's not, like, super annoying or complicated or anything. I swear I didn't touch that, but alright. Yeah, but the beginning of this room, like, tests you on whether or not you're paying attention to when propellers are actually active or not. And I messed that up entirely. But it's okay, because the propeller blade, honestly, is like... I think the propeller blade is the only sub-weapon I use just as much as I use, you know, everyone's favorite, the phase locket. Those are like the two items I would say like get the most use in this single player campaign. Okay. So let's try that again, but this time with gusto. Okay, so let's try that again, but this time with gusto. Ah, jeez. All right, and luckily there's only two more. There's only two more checkpoints that we haven't reached yet, so we are relatively cruising. Propeller Knight's fight doesn't take too long to do. It's tedious, but it's not like overly annoying or anything. I'd say it's like Propeller Knight is also another one of those fights where you can't just spam. Oh, damn it. Okay, I'm just gonna stay right there. I'm just gonna use my propeller blade. Makes life a lot easier, honestly. And I'm just gonna skip the hidden thing there because I don't feel like dealing with it. This room in particular is actually pretty fun to deal with because it's a lot of managing. I mean, obviously, it's all about managing. Fuck. It's all about managing fuck because you know that's totally what we want to manage here. But it's all about just like paying attention to the way the wind and gravity is going at the moment. There we go. This room in particular is oh shit. I kind of forget that you have to like jump there. But we're almost done. We're pretty close to the end. There we go. Ah, damn it. I thought I timed that a little bit better, but I think if I had gone backwards to the left with my propeller blade, then I would have made it. Okay, that's going to push me up. And that's going to push me up. There we go. Ah, fuck. I thought I was going to be able to make that cannonball back, but if anything, I should have just gone backwards to the last cannonball. There we go. Oh, damn it. I didn't think I noticed. I didn't think I slipped off there. That's a little bit of an error on my part. And then jump. I cut that literally as close as possible. Ah, fuck it. I'm just gonna not even. just gonna carry across. That's the last checkpoint, which means, as we all know, final boss is up next. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Propeller Knight. And just Propeller Knight loves flying and has cleavage. Well, not cleavage, but you can see booby outline. That's the difference with body swap. Other than that, it would just be more like a regal, like slender, like it would be more like a suit. This is more like a, like it feels more like it's like corsety at the middle, at least like with few pixels. Ah, my petite blue friend, the sunset. She's beautiful, no? Get down here and face me, you gyroscopic jester. Oh, so rude. My crew, were they not hospitable? My ship, was it not magnificent? I am not here to be entertained. I must reach the Tower of Fate. All business, no pleasure. Such a shame. Very well, then. On guard. Alright, where's my phase locket? Alright. Oh yeah, and she calls down cannonballs after... Fuck. I forgot she broke holes in the floor. It's been a while since I fought this boss, like I mentioned. Like I mentioned entirely, it's been a long time since I booted up Shovel Knight in general and wasn't playing like one of the secondary stories. And by that I mean playing through Spectre Knight. Ow. Okay. So I'm pretty sure if I stand in the middle, I'm fine. Yeah. Oh, are you kidding me? The fucking stab slipped me into the hole. It's in the hole. Alright. I don't need the healing item, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, this... I honestly usually have an easier time fighting this boss than I do Spectre Knight. I just wish I had an ability here to like jump up higher. And phase right through it. There we go. And if you notice, a rose flies out of Propeller Knight when you kill her. Nice little aesthetic touch. So, with that, sorry if I keep playing with my ear. I like these headphones, but like prolonged wearing of them because they've got the, if you notice, they're the circle pattern, not the ovular pattern of most headphones. Prolonged exposure to these headphones really hurt my ears. Yep. You like Alright, I'm just gonna phase through that. I had to grab the money first, sorry. Sorry, babe. Sorry, babe. Alright. Take out that pile, and this should be our last gastronomer. Gastronomer. Tronomer. Not nometer. Gastronomer. But yeah, this reveals the final area, which is basically just an ascent up to the Tower of Fate. So I'm gonna go back to town. I'm gonna max out my actually where I am right now. Should have dropped them to pick up all the money. They'd be fine. So I'm gonna buy the gold armor because I always like ending the game with the gold armor because it's ridiculous. I'm also gonna go over here and talk to this guy, and he's like, "Oh, they're really fun to duet." And unfortunately, I'm pretty sure if you just I honestly forget. I think this is just like an infinite loop. Blah blah blah. Decadent airship. Oh, the other thing I like about this is occasionally when you jump, you do front loops. Yay. Yeah, we're gonna catapult our way back. Gonna get yeeted all the way back to start. And because I now have the gold armor, I land perfectly. I don't think I have enough gold now that I bought the... Yeah, I don't have enough gold now. But yeah. So, I'm going to put my headphone back on my ear. And with that, I'm going to call this a stream. So, in the meantime, thank you all so very much for watching. If you haven't done so already, please hit that follow button up top to make sure you know when I go live next for free. Or if you're feeling a little bit extra generous, you can hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. Help support the channel, help support me and what I do, and you know, all that good stuff. And also get into a raffle every month for a chance to win a video game on Steam, which is also dope. Other free things, follow me down below on Twitter and Instagram at SSBKazarian. I need to add this, but I just made a Facebook page for the channel as well. If you're on Facebook, you can just look up at SSBKazarian or just SSBKazarian in general, and you'll get the Twitch. You'll get my Facebook page as well. If you're feeling generous, there are multiple donation links down below. Also, for free, you should go and hit subscribe on that YouTube channel, so that way you have all the VODs for the videos. But in the meantime, thank you all so very much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic night, and take care.